Grand Admiral Zix Thara's tentacles writhed in confusion as she stared at the tactical display aboard the Imperial supercarrier Nexus of Eternity. The massive vessel, stretching nearly 50 kilometers in length, commanded a fleet of 800 ships, the largest armada ever assembled in the Outer Rim. Yet somehow, they were being held at bay by a single human vessel. "Confirm the readings again," she hissed through her translator unit, her aquatic species natural sonar clicking with agitation. "How many human ships are we detecting?" Fleet Commander Ketvol, a towering reptilian from the desert worlds of Sektar, ran his clawed fingers across the quantum sensor array. His scaled hide rippled with nervous energy. "Grand Admiral, sensors confirm, one vessel. Designation appears to be UES Prometheus. Length approximately 2.8 kilometers. Mass roughly equivalent to our heavy cruiser class." The numbers made no sense. In galactic warfare, fleet engagements were decided by numerical superiority, technological advantage, and strategic positioning. A single ship, regardless of its capabilities, should have been obliterated within minutes against such overwhelming odds. Yet the Prometheus had been holding this entire sector for 3 standard days, turning back every probe and reconnaissance mission. "Perhaps their sensors are malfunctioning," suggested Science Officer Velana, her crystalline form refracting the bridge's bioluminescent lighting. No rational species would send a single vessel against a full Imperial armada. Admiral Zix Thara had commanded fleets for over 2 centuries. She had conquered 17 star systems and pacified 43 rebellions. In all that time, she had never encountered anything like this tactical anomaly. "Deploy the 47 the attack wing," she ordered. 50 fighters should be more than sufficient to test their defenses. Captain Elena Vasquez stood in the command center of the UES Prometheus, watching the incoming Imperial fighters on her holographic display. Her ship was indeed alone, not because Earth lacked additional vessels, but because humanity had learned something the Empire hadn't yet grasped. Sometimes, one was enough. "Ma'am," called out Lieutenant Torres from the sensor station. 50 bogies inbound, standard Imperial attack formation. ET, 4 minutes. Acknowledged. Vasquez turned to her weapons officer. "Commander Park, prepare the Cascade defense grid." The Empire's military doctrine was based on overwhelming force and technological superiority. They deployed massive fleets because their strategy relied on punching through enemy defenses through sheer numbers. But humanity had developed something entirely different: multiplicative force multiplication. As the Imperial fighters approached, the Prometheus didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, it released what appeared to be a small cloud of metallic debris, thousands of microscopic drones, each no larger than a grain of rice, powered by microfusion cells and equipped with basic AI processors. Grand Admiral Zix Thara watched in confusion as her fighters suddenly began reporting system failures. "What's happening out there?" she demanded. "Unknown, Admiral," Commander Ketvol replied, his voice strained. "The fighters are reporting swarm attacks, but sensors detect no enemy vessels." The microdrones had been designed based on Earth's understanding of emergent behavior and swarm intelligence. Each individual unit was virtually powerless, but together they formed a collective consciousness that could analyze, adapt, and coordinate attacks in real time. They swarmed over the Imperial fighters like a plague of mechanical locusts, burrowing into hull gaps, jamming communication arrays, and overloading power systems. Within minutes, the entire 47 the attack wing was drifting helplessly in space, their pilots trapped in dead ships. "Impossible," Zix Thara whispered, her tentacles pale with shock. "Deploy the 12th Heavy Cruiser Squadron." "Surely capital ships can." "Admiral," interrupted her tactical officer, a multi-eyed insectoid from the Hive Worlds. "Perhaps we should reconsider our approach. This human vessel appears to employ technologies we don't understand. But Zixthara was thinking like an imperial commander. She had overwhelming numerical superiority, 800 ships against 1. Mathematics and military doctrine both demanded that she should win this engagement easily. She refused to accept that the fundamental assumptions of galactic warfare might be wrong. The 12 heavy cruisers advanced in perfect formation, their quantum shields at maximum power, exotic matter weapons charging. Each ship carried enough firepower to glass a planet's surface. Surely this would be sufficient. Captain Vasquez watched the approaching cruisers with calm calculation. "Deploy the Phantom Protocol," she ordered. The Prometheus seemed to flicker out of existence, not through any exotic cloaking technology, but through something far more disturbing. It had begun to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Earth scientists had discovered that consciousness itself could be used as a quantum observer, allowing a single ship to exist in several probability states at once until the moment of interaction. To Imperial sensors, there was suddenly not one human ship, but dozens, each one equally real, until observed directly. The heavy cruisers found themselves firing at targets that existed and didn't exist simultaneously, their weapons passing harmlessly through quantum shadows, while the real Prometheus struck from impossible angles. "This is madness," Zixthara shrieked, as her cruisers reported it from directions where no enemy ship was visible. "How can one vessel be in multiple positions at once?" Fleet Commander Ketvol's tactical display showed impossible readings. "Admiral, the human ship appears to be manipulating quantum probability itself. It's not cloaking, it's existing in superposition." The revelation hit the Imperial Command Staff like a physical blow. The Empire's technology was advanced, but it followed predictable patterns: bigger ships, more powerful weapons, stronger shields. Humanity had taken a completely different approach, one that violated the Empire's understanding of military physics. But the true horror was yet to come. As the quantum-distributed Prometheus engaged the cruiser squadron, it began to demonstrate its most terrifying capability: adaptive evolution. Captain Vasquez's ship wasn't just using advanced technology, it was learning. Every Imperial weapon fired at it, every tactical maneuver attempted against it, was instantly analyzed by quantum computers that existed partially outside normal spacetime. The ship adapted not just its defenses, but its very nature, becoming more effective with each passing moment. "The human vessel is changing," reported Science Officer Velana, her crystalline form flickering with alarm. "Its weapon signatures are modifying in real time. Its defensive capabilities are improving exponentially." Grand Admiral Zixthara finally understood the terrible truth. This wasn't a battle between one ship and 800. This was a battle between two completely different paradigms of existence. The Empire relied on linear scaling: more ships, bigger guns, stronger shields. But humanity had discovered exponential scaling technologies that became more powerful through interaction, adaptation, and emergent complexity. The Prometheus wasn't just one ship. It was a seed of evolutionary technology that grew stronger with every challenge it faced. Against an enemy that adapted and evolved in real time, numerical superiority meant nothing. In fact, the more ships the Empire sent, the faster the human vessel learned to counter them. "Admiral," Commander Ketvol said quietly, "I believe we should withdraw. This enemy operates on principles we cannot match with conventional tactics." Zixthara's tentacles writhed in defeat. For the first time in her long career, she faced an opponent that couldn't be overwhelmed through superior numbers or firepower. The humans had sent just one ship, because one ship was enough not through individual power, but through the terrifying potential for unlimited growth and adaptation. As the Imperial fleet began its retreat, the Prometheus remained in position, having grown more capable and more dangerous with every moment of combat. It had started as a single vessel, but through its adaptive technologies and quantum multiplication capabilities, it had become something entirely new, a military organism that fed on conflict and grew stronger with each challenge. The Empire would return with larger fleets, more advanced weapons, and new strategies. But they would discover that each attempt to overwhelm the human vessel would only make it more formidable. Humanity had introduced something unprecedented into galactic warfare, a military technology that improved through combat itself. The age of numerical supremacy was ending, replaced by something far more terrifying, the age of adaptive evolution.